Hey, what's up? Continuing from the SGB RAG project. I don't think I have to break it down each time I talk about it, but Student Government Board Retrieval Augmented Generation Project. The idea is for Student Government Board, we allocate money to clubs. There's a certain governing body or code that we abide by. It's interpretable, but there's a general rule and law that we abide by. So the idea is that for clubs to make the best allocation request possible, I'm building like this AI that they can ask it about the governing code for allocations and all of that. And the reason why it's helpful is because a lot of AI agents, a lot of think ChatGPT, think Gemini, think Llama, whatever AI agent, not agent, whatever AI you use, is very generalized. So having a retrieval augmented generation thing makes it more specific and actually pulls from a specific data source. So that's the general idea. So what's going on there? I built kind of like an MVP of that. I don't know if MVP applies minimum viable product in this scenario because it's not like a startup thing. Maybe it is. But seriously, no, it's not a startup thing. Um, but built it. So kind of have something built off of there. But now I actually want to switch it from away from OpenAI because I have to pay money. To do that. I have to pay money to you when I use the API. So what I'm trying to do is kind of maybe switch it to something that's cheaper, or even free. So right now I was trying I just installed Llama on my RG Strix G610. I was going to do like a whole laptop thing, but I don't think it makes sense because I don't know how to do laptop videos. I don't really want to do one. But it's a really cool. Let me just show you real quick. Really cool laptop, really awesome. But I just installed it and it's really awesome just to try and play around with it. I just installed Llama 2. That took a while. So now I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. But to be honest, a lot of the stuff I'm doing now, I don't plan to use this for the actual RAG system I provide to clubs. I think this is just more around to play around with. I'm going to work with this shortly. Then I'm going to move over to trying to use like LangChain and follow a tutorial from there to see if I can have it more I don't know, because I think a big part is like I don't know the exact terms. I think it's vector embedding. Like the idea is to kind of break the let's say you have a bunch of documents, you have like 5 documents, to kind of break those documents into chunks and then kind of vector embed them so it's easier to search for similarities between what you're querying, what you're asking, and what data source to pull from. And it's really interesting. I don't know the math that goes behind it. I think I have a very, very loose, very vague idea of what's going on. But maybe that's good enough. So yeah, kind of going to switch over to using LangChain. And I could not describe what LangChain is. I just know it's more. I think it costs money as well. 'Cause I remember there was this video where it was like a tutorial on how to use LangChain or whatever, and people were really angry because it's meant to be. This should be free, but I think it depends on how you're using it. But from what I understand, LangChain is kind of just a lot of it makes it easier, I guess. And I think what it does is like it stores the vector embeddings, like I explain what it is. This it stores the vector embeddings on like on a cloud or somewhere. That may not be true. Let me actually double check because I know I'm using Mistral DB or wherever it's called to make the vector embeddings, but I don't know where they're stored exactly. So let me just look at this real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Indexing retrieval installation. Langsmith. Yeah, is that what I'm using? I think it's Lang. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Where do I store the vectors? Yeah. So actually, I was wrong. It's actually not. Where I store the vectors, I have no idea. I think I'm gonna do MongoDB because I want to try using MongoDB. I remember I want to use it for a hackathon once, but never really got it to work. I think if I remember correctly. So gonna do that, and I do want the whole RAG thing to be able to like be chattable. So this time I have to like you have to keep on querying it, or keep on asking it questions. So I want to have that conversation also. We'll see how that works. Um, Dang, actually, I have no idea what LangChain is. That's actually bothering me. Like, I know I'm going to use it, but like, what is LangChain? That's a really fun thing, but like me being, I don't want to say an AI person, but I feel like I like technology, AI, coding, all of that. But like, if you ask me like, what was a certain thing, I could not tell you. I guess like I remember maybe it's Albert Einstein or some dude has a quote that if you can explain something simply, then you don't really know, which I think is a fair case for this. LangChain is a software framework that helps facilitate the integration of large language models into applications. As a language model integration framework, LangChain uses cases up. And then that seems like to be a general idea. Okay, I think I have a vague idea of what it is. It connects LLMs to external resources, yep, tools, and other components to facilitate the development of complex AI applications. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to try doing. Seems fun, seems complex, but doesn't seem over complex. The documentation or wherever I have to go to doesn't seem robust. And the reason I said robust is just like I really want this. Like I came up with that sentence, I was saying it doesn't seem complex, but I thought of the word robust, and I thought I had to make a sentence to use the word robust. I just want to let you know that's how I come up with these videos. Like that's how I come up with like the next following sentence. But yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think it's really cool. I'm trying to think what's going on next. I really do want. I don't know. I think a bad part of this project, I really want to show it to other SGB members. I don't like when I have to like a project involves validation from other people in any sense. Like that's a big thing I did. I made sure project flips so that it didn't gain any validation from others. 'Cause I think that messes up a project's value in my head. So then I'm worried about that. I think it's just like a childlike excitement just to show like a cool project you worked on to other people. So I don't know if I'm trying to stomp it out or nurture the idea itself. But I do think it's something exciting. I do think it's something exciting. So there is that aspect. I also think it's really awesome just to work with AI in general. I think I don't know, I feel like a year back or 2 years back, I imagined doing this, but I think I imagined in the sense of like I could imagine my past self doing it. So that's really cool. I'm like I'm dipping my toes in the water and not just talk about it. Especially because I've been talking about RAG for a long time. I know this must sound weird, but like before RAG was popular, for wherever you consider popular, before RAG was popular, I think I was talking about RAG. So I think that's just I don't know. I don't want to say I was like a pioneer. That feels very narcissistic. But I always talk about RAG pretty early on, I think, in terms of its popularity, upscale trend, whatever you want to say. I feel like someone, if they were very petty, could go look back to when I uploaded like the first Project Phillips video and say like, oh, RAG was way popular before you even started Project Phillips. So what you're saying doesn't make sense. But I disagree vehemently. But yeah, okay, so plan, do the llama stuff, play around with like local models on my computer, and then move over to like trying to use LangChain, and then use llama for like the API stuff that I have to do because I think it's much cheaper or even free if I remember correctly. I think that's really just the idea, and then from there I can try and make like some try to host some websites just for other people to play around with it just to see what's like, right? Just to see what questions it can answer, what questions it can't answer, and what use cases and edge cases they are for this. And just because I like explaining stuff, I think edge cases, when I say it in my head, is like those very unique situations you didn't account for when building a product or a project. I just want to make sure because that's the right definition. I know that's very unnecessary, but you know, never hurts. Edge case. Yeah, extreme maximum or operating parameter. So we'll see. That wasn't the definition I used, but still applies. Really excited, really excited. I do think I want to still keep that chill streak. So maybe if I'm not lazy, I'll download Steam on my new laptop, then download Marvel Rivals, play that for a bit, then find the charger for my Nintendo Switch, and then play like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing or some other game just to like, chill, pull back. I am watching You season 5, and I heard it was bad, but it's actually not been so bad so far. So I think that might also be enjoyable. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.